Red cherry shrimp are the first shrimp that I ever got, and to this day remain one of the favorites that I keep and breed. Hi guys, Armand here from Shrimp Stop, and I hope all you shrimpers are doing well. Red cherry shrimp are hardy, easy to breed, and make great additions to most tanks. I hope that the information that I'm going to share with you will enable you to keep and breed better quality shrimp, and in time enable you to keep other shrimp species successfully as well. The reason why I say they are so easy to keep is because of the huge differences in water quality, temperatures, pH and other water parameters that these little guys can survive and thrive in. To illustrate this, I can tell you of something that happened to me a few years back. I went to my local pet shop and got 10 of these little guys. I got home, put the bag in the tank so I could match the water temperature before I started acclimating them. I got a call that there was a work emergency that I had to immediately attend to, about 3 hours drive away. So I jumped in the car and off I went. A fault that should have taken me about 2 hours to fix had me stuck in that town for 4 days. So when I got home, I thought I was going to walk into some dead cherries in a bag. Luckily for me, not only were they all fine, 2 of the females were now pregnant. The ideal water conditions for them is a pH in a range of about 6.4 to 7.6, a KH anywhere between 0 and 10, GH of 4 to 14, TDS of 80 to 200, and a water temperature of 18 to 23 degrees. Our tanks run at a pH of about 6.8 to 7, and for me this is the most important part in keeping them. They can acclimate to other water conditions, but I would still advise that you try and get a breeder or pet shop that's water conditions is the closest match to your own. If not, acclimating them to their new conditions might take a little bit more time. In future videos we'll discuss how to set up a shrimp tank and how to acclimate new shrimps. When buying your first shrimps, we would advise that you get at least 5 but aim to get 10. The reason for this is that if you're new to shrimp keeping, that you'll at least get a male and a female to start off with. It could be hard to spot the difference between a male and a female if they're still juveniles, but these are the ones that we suggest that you get, as their lifespan is usually between 12 and 18 months, depending on water temperature. Now you might think this is a very short time, but they produce relatively easily if you give them the right conditions. Those conditions are clean water, water temperature of about 23 to 25 degrees, and a food source. You can basically think of them as guppies. If you put a male and a female together, at some point in time they will start breeding. So let's talk about the tank type that you're going to need, which is one of the reasons why I love these guys so much. They don't require that much, but the better you look after them, the better they will do. You can keep them in tanks with no substrate or relatively expensive ones. As you can see, mine are on ADA Amazonia. I have this in most of my tanks, but this is not required. Your filtration would be dependent on the substrate that you would use, and it can be anything from undergravel filters to canister filters. But the one big must in any shrimp tank for me is a food source. They are scavengers and omnivores, which means they will eat almost anything. I add live plants to all my shrimp tanks, ranging from moss, ground covers and some stem plants. The reason for this is that your shrimp eat mainly biofilm that's produced naturally in your tanks. You also get specific shrimp foods, but this should be seen as a treat and not a food. If you feed your shrimps, don't overfeed them, as this can change your water chemistry and can be very harmful to your shrimps. More on this in later videos. At the start of the video, I said I was going to share some information that will enable you to keep better quality shrimp, and I would like to explain a little bit more in detail. With selective breeding on Neocardina, you'll be able to improve the quality of your shrimp. We rate or grade quality as a better color. Now when you look at a normal cherry shrimp, you will see that the red color is not solid or complete color across the shrimp. Cherry shrimp came from inbreeding and line breeding of wild type shrimp in Asia. The exact origin of the breeder who first started breeding them is unfortunately unknown at this stage, but we thank him or her nonetheless. Red Neocardina shrimp have many different grades and names, but we'll try and keep it as simple as possible and stick with the 4 basics for now. The first grade is just called cherry shrimp. The coloration is mostly transparent with spots of light red. The legs are colorless. Males are almost totally colorless. By selective breeding and culling, you'll be able to improve to the next grade, which we call Shakuru grade. They are mostly red except for the lower body and legs, which is very spotted or striped. Males can range from colorless to cherry grade. By selective breeding and culling, you'll be able to move to the next grade, which we call fire red grade. They are entirely red with no obvious cracks in the body. The legs should be entirely red as well. However, the saddles and eggs are still visible through the shells under normal lighting conditions. Males can be shukuru to almost the same as the females. After selective breeding and culling again, you'll be able to move on to painted red grade. They are entirely red with no cracks in the body. The legs are entirely red as well. Very solid or opaque shells, saddles and eggs are only visible under backlit conditions. Males can be shukuru grade or higher. Now guys, I know I might have used some terms that you're not familiar with yet, but let's break it down for you. The biggest difference between a male and the female is their size. The males will always be smaller than the females when fully grown. The females will also always have a better color than the males. Then there's some other differences as well. On the head behind the eyes, you can sometimes see the yellow or green saddle. This is actually the unfertilized eggs that the female is carrying. Besides that, you can also look at the tail section where the female's tail will be a little bit rounder than the male's, which is a little bit straighter. Mating usually coincides with the female shedding her exoskeleton, and now the fertilized eggs will move from her back to under her tail. We then say that this female is buried, as the eggs that she is carrying looks like a bunch of berries. She carries the eggs for about 30 days, after which the baby shrimp are born as miniature versions of adult shrimp. They take approximately 60 to 90 days before they reach juvenile stage and will start producing shortly after that, starting the whole cycle over again. Now during this video you've seen my shrimp eating food that I've placed in a tank for them. There's a lot of different brands and types of food on the market, and from my personal experience, nothing beats natural products. This makes keeping them also relatively cheap if you're able to scavenge for them inside your fridge or outside your home. Remember, in the natural habitat, there isn't a guy named Dave that goes out and feeds them. They eat what nature provides, being leaves that end up in their stream or biofilm and algae that occurs naturally. Good natural products to feed your shrimp are spinach or baby marrow. If you go outside, you might find stinging nettles or dandelions. Most fruit tree leaves are fine, but before you feed anything specific, please do some more research. Dried leaves are a great source of food. A good holiday food is Indian almond leaves. Not only does it last for a long time in your tank and breaks down naturally, supplying your adult and baby shrimp with food, it also has antibacterial and antibiotic properties. In some parts of the world, it's used as a cheap water conditioner. In upcoming videos, I'll explain in detail how to prepare these for your tank and also some foods that you can prepare for your shrimp. But always remember, less is more and keep it as natural as possible. This was the main reason why I got into shrimp keeping, as they completed the ecosystem that I tried to replicate in one of my aquascapes. Being scavengers, they will help keep your tank clean by eating all leftover food and also help with algae control. Shrimps are better than others when it comes to algae control. Keeping them in community tanks and aquascapes are easy, but tank mates for them should be researched for compatibility. As I've learned over the years, if it can fit into a fish's mouth, they will either try to eat it or attempt to do so. Fish to avoid are loaches and angels. Fish that can go with them, but the shrimp will need some hiding places in dense plant cover, are tetras and microfish. And fish that I've kept with them without incident so far are panda, cories and ottos. But even if you decide to do a shrimp only tank, these guys will bring life and joy to your tanks. They are always active and the coloration will make them stand out in your tank. I hope this video has helped you to decide to keep them, or if you got them already, improve the quality of your shrimp. So guys, if you liked the video, give us a like and subscribe. Please use the comments if there's anything else that you need clarification on or would like some more information on. From us here at the Shrimp Stop team, thanks for watching and see you shrimpers soon.